Hey nerds, welcome to Jerbear Reacts. Today we're going to recap season 2 of Stranger Things. I goofed, okay? This is on me. After each episode, when I watch something, I take notes. I put down in loving memory. I put my favorite episodes, etc., favorite scenes from different things. I have all of that stuff listed out. And I had the same thing for season 2, and it's not there. This is a blank sheet. It literally, my opening notes says season 2 starts with, and then there's nothing after it. I deleted what I thought was a season 2 to another show. I thought it was the 100th season 2 that I still had pulled up, and then when I cleaned out my recycling bin, and then when I reopened it, I realized that it was the Stranger Things season 2, and the 100th season 2 was still there. So this one will probably be pretty quick. I don't have any notes. I just put down the stuff I remembered off the top of my head, and we're gonna go with this for season 2. Oh, this is the first time this has ever happened, and hopefully it never happens again. So, with that out of the way, season 2 of Stranger Things, no reaction for today. We will pick back up tomorrow with season 3, episode 1, and that's just what we're going to do. So, let's do it. Season 2 of Stranger Things. Basically, here's what happens throughout the seasons. 11 is living with Hopper. She struggled out in the woods. She killed a guy, threw a gopher at his face, took his shit, finds Hopper out in the thing. Hopper basically adopts her, but he hides her in a cabin to keep her safe from the bad people, making sure it's going to be okay for her to be out and about doing her thing. In doing so, she gets a little impatient. She freaks out. She bounces. After being lied to about her mom being dead, she goes and finds her mom, and then ends up finding her sister, which actually leads to really nothing other than to channel your the shit that makes you mad. So that was a whole storyline. Mike, obviously struggling with 11 being gone, is kind of upset because now there's this new girl, Mad Max, that broke all of their arcade records. And Mad Max is the champ at Dig Dug, has a bullshit ass older brother named Billy, who seems a little racist when it comes to Lucas. I'm just going to put that out there. Steve goes from king of the school to second behind Billy, but Steve also finds a role in being a chaperone slash babysitter slash a parent to the children at some point. Dustin finds a little slug that turns out to be a demo dog. It's a demogorgon. That's what it was. Will, yet again, struggling. Remember, he threw that slug up, and that's the slug that Dustin ends up finding. So now Will is struggling from being a part of the other side, and a mind flare takes control over him, and they kind of bend to his will, no pun intended, all the way to his end, heating him up to get that virus out of him. We see that Joyce is actually dating Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings and 50 First Dates, and The Goonies, and all the other good movies he's ever been in. So she's dating Bob Newby, who ends up sacrificing himself to get everybody out of Hawkins. 11 leaves. She meets her sister. She comes back. She saves the day. She closes this gate, and they all go to a ball together, and they all dance. The season felt very slow build compared to season 1. They were dealing with what felt like a much larger enemy. I wouldn't say it had an anticlimactic ending, but it had a good ending with the snowball. I think they ended the mind flare slash gate portion of it early to get a smoother ending, showing, relationships with peeps and how things are progressing, and Steve's character flip, and Max shutting up her brother once and for all. Mike struggling because they introduced a new character. They introduced Max to the party. He doesn't want her to be a part of it. And he's upset because just like Dustin and Lucas was, for more so Lucas about 11 joining the party. So it's the parallels there. Really nice. Ends with the snowball, flips upside down. The mind flares watching them dance, yada, yada. I enjoyed the season. I didn't enjoy it more than season 1, but I had fun with it. I just think it felt like it should have had 20 episodes by the way their pacing was. I love the character development of Bob, of Hopper, of Mike over the course of it, of Max over the course. I wish Lucas had a little more screen time. I wish Mike had a little more to do with his friends this season. Will, yet again, still struggling. 11 being the 11th member of that group. Steve just being there. Jonathan and Nancy's relationship blossoming. Steve kind of being okay with it. It all played out very smoothly, and I enjoyed it. And I love seeing Steve become a mother to those kids. So, with that out of the way, that's really it for season 2. That's what it was. We'll have favorite episodes and everything else as usual. We'll go ahead and get directly into that. Again, this one will be short and sweet. So with that out of the way, let's do our favorite episode. I don't have nominees. I just literally wrote down my favorite episode. I know I didn't like a handful of them this time around, actually. I remember liking the first episode. I remember liking episode 5 and 6 a lot. And then episode 8 and 9. 7 was kind of okay. It just doesn't feel like it belongs. My favorite episode of season 2 is, it's actually the finale. It's episode 9, The Gate. The episode called The Spy was also a really good episode. I really fucking love that episode a lot. But The Gate, I like the storytelling within it. Take the mind flayer out of it because it really wasn't there. I enjoyed watching those characters develop on the screen. So that was my favorite episode for season 2. Favorite scene, I remember a couple things. I don't remember the actual stamps for them. But for example, the snowball, the entire snowball thing, especially Nancy going to dance with, with Dustin. I'm trying to hold that burp in. Steve and Dustin bonding on the railroad. Steve standing up to Billy, aka Bully, and Hopper and Elle's apology in the car. And I really think that my favorite scene, which will play into my most heartbreaking scene as well, was Hopper and Elle's conversation in the car and them two apologizing and admitting to their faults. And it just pulled a lot of emotions out, which for my most heartbreaking scene, I only can remember 2 nominees. There was a lot of stuff that kind of pulled emotions from me, but 11 meeting her mother and watching her loop was fucking just. But Elle asking who Sarah was to Hopper in that same car ride, him asking that and Hopper just saying, "Who's Sarah?" He's like, "That's my girl." Tears, man. Tears. And also Bob's death falls under most heartbreaking as well. But while Bob was dying, this scene right here that I mentioned of Elle asking who Sarah was much more just heartbreaking for me. Also under favorite scene would be the Jane Hopper seeing that birth certificate. It was pretty smooth. Funniest scene, I laughed the fuck ton during this season, more so than other seasons I've watched of shows, but this one, Murray asking how the pullout was to Jonathan and Nancy. Season 2, episode 5. Perfection. Favorite kiss, also from that same episode, Nancy and Jonathan. It's about fucking time, okay? Keep it moving. For favorite kill, I really didn't have anything other than 11 killing that dog and throwing it through the house. Again, breaking more of Joyce's shit, but still, nonetheless, if something's not happening, that house is like the Xavier Institute. It's always getting destroyed. So kudos there. But I can't think of any other kills off the top of my head. That was like, ooh, shit, that was dope. So we'll go ahead and do favorite friendship, okay? Let's start with this. These are things I actually have nominees listed for. So favorite friendship, Joyce and Hopper, Mike and Will, Jonathan and Will, Steve and Dustin. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you, there's a lot of good friendships in here that's not even mentioned, but these are like the tight bonded ones. And I'll go ahead and say it outright that my favorite friendship of season 2 was actually Steve and Dustin. They have really good chemistry together, and I hope I see more of that in season 3. For favorite ship, on the other hand, I put some on-screen relationships and then some other ships in my brain. I will tell you, I'll keep off the list. I'll keep these off the nominees. So honorable mentions would be Max and Dustin, I think would be really cute, but Max and Lucas together is super wholesome, but that wasn't until like the very end that became an official thing. Mike and Elle obviously gets an honorable mention, but for the actual nominees, we have Nancy and Jonathan, Joyce and Bob, and Joyce and Hopper. You know? Nancy and Jonathan, I don't think had enough. Like, I really do love them together, but Joyce and Bob, man. Bob was just a wholesome guy. That's somebody you settle down and live with forever. That's who that is Bob. Joyce and Bob gets my favorite relationship for me. Dims the brakes, bro. Least favorite character, Billy. I don't give a fuck, bro. I get it. You got some trauma. Your dad bullies you, blah, blah, blah. Don't be a piece of shit. Deal with it your own way. Favorite character, your nominees, Hopper, Steve, Murray, 11, and Dustin. Now, I just Levin was a more rebellious, but she ended up choosing her friends, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed kind of just watching her on screen and work and stuff. I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna lie, it really comes down to two people: to Hopper and Steve. And oh boy, Jim Hopper was really doing what he could for those kids. He was doing his best. He jumped down in those tunnels. He was there for Joyce and everything else. The unlikely, the man with the face turn. My winner for favorite character for season 2 of Stranger Things is none other than Steve Harrington. Steve took on a whole responsibility. He gets dumped to his drunk girlfriend who really doesn't actually love him. They're better as friends. He's okay with it. He goes and tries to apologize and gets fucking cock blocked by Dustin, even though nobody was even home. And then he goes and he's the bodyguard. He's the babysitter, like The Rock and Vin Diesel. Was The Rock the babysitter? Or was that just Vin Diesel? The Rock was a tooth fairy. Anyways, you get the point. Steve Harrington wins favorite character for season 2. Ooh, here we go. Are you ready for this one? Favorite party member. Your season 1 winner was Dustin. Your nominees for the party as it stands right now is Mike, Will, Dustin, Lucas, 11, and yes, I've added Max. Mike took a weird role this season. Will still going through his troubles. 11 wasn't with them most of the time. Max hesitant, but I think she'll be great moving forward. Lucas is phenomenal. I love Lucas. I just wish he had a little more going. Dustin was the most intriguing character. I just love Dustin to pieces, even when he's lying and being a little turd ball. Dustin, back-to-back season, wins my favorite party member. You're welcome. Now, I don't have anything for favorite quote or most underrated. Again, most of those things I can't think of off the top of my head. So we will move into my season rankings or season names. We'll do the season rankings towards the latter half. Season 1, if you didn't remember, I entitled Amber Alert. The season 2, it took me a minute to try to figure out like a common theme to like name this season. And there was a lot of self-sacrifices going on. I feel like every show is a sacrifice season. There was a lot of turmoil here and there, a lot of new people, a lot of fresh faces, fresh relationships. But there was a common theme that I found, and that was people kind of breaking their rules, kind of going against their grain. Elle and Hopper breaking their rules of don't be stupid. Elle breaking all of those rules. Elle going to see these peeps and breaking her own moral codes. Steve kind of flipping and going with these kids. The kids disobeying him and breaking his rules. Max breaking Billy's rules. Nancy and Jonathan breaking rules, going to do this stuff in secrecy and doing this stuff. A lot of that shit was going on. So I thought about calling it Oath Breaker, but I just called it Rule Breakers. Rebels. That's season 2. And then the season 2 finale name. Season 1 finale was Avada Kedavra, just because 11 disappearing with the Demogorgon. And then my finale name for season 2, I just dubbed Reunions. This was the gate being closed and the snowball. It was a season of weird reunions and new kindling of friendships, but the finale itself was just one giant reunion. Everybody kind of had somebody, and it was it felt nice. It was a good little ending. So yeah. And with that out of the way, we'll wrap it up pretty simply with our In Memoriam. My whole list is gone. A couple of things, not a whole bunch of people died. We'll mention Barb again. I really have 2 main things we're going to mention in this. And number 1, of course, is going to be Muse, the kitty cat. And number 2 will be Bob the Brain Newbie, a.k.a. Bob Newbie, superhero. Rest in peace to you beautiful people. All of these winners right here will appear in the final full show breakdown post season 5 in 2 years. So we will do that. They'll all be included there. And that's it. My final little closing words for season 2. I really enjoyed it. There's a couple things I would have done different, especially in that moment of them in the little elevator thing and Hopper saying, you did good, kid. If Elle would have said, thank you, Papa. I think that would have been a beautiful thing and led Hopper further into the adoption thing and getting the birth certificate. I think it would have been really smooth, and that's all I really have for the notes. So I'm going to start season 3. I'm going to make sure my season 3 list, I never moved the season 2 folder over to where it should be, so that's on me. The season 3 folder is listed, already saved under Stranger Things, so I know not to delete it or not to move it. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed season 2. I look forward to seeing fresh faces in season 3, returning faces for season 3. We have 17 episodes left. We're at the halfway point, 17 episodes down, 17 to go, and then we're caught up with the rest of the world. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Links and everything will be in the description box down below. Playlist will be up on screen. As always, stay cute, stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.